from The Journey to the East. I was very fond of many of my comrades and leaders, but not one of them subsequently occupied my thoughts as much as Leo, while at that time he was apparently hardly noticed. Leo was one of our servants, who were naturally volunteers as we were. He helped to carry the luggage and was often assigned to the personal service of the speaker. This unaffected man had something so pleasing, so unobtrusively winning about him that everyone loved him. He did his work gaily, usually sang or whistled as he went along, was never seen except when needed, in fact, an ideal servant. Furthermore, all animals were attached to him. We nearly always had some dog or other with us which joined us on account of Leo. He could tame birds and attract butterflies to him. It was his desire for Solomon's key which would enable him to understand the language of the birds that had drawn him to the East. This servant Leo worked in a very simple and natural manner, friendly in an unassuming way, alongside the many forms of our League, which, without doing harm to the value and sincerity of the League, had within them something exalting, something singular, solemn, or fantastic. What makes my account particularly difficult is a great disparity in my individual recollections. I have already said that sometimes we marched along only as a small group. Sometimes we formed a troop or even an army. But sometimes I remained in a district with only a few friends, or even quite alone, without tents, without leaders, and without a speaker. My tale becomes even more difficult because we not only wandered through space, but also through time. We moved towards the East, but we also traveled into the Middle Ages and the Golden Age. We roamed through Italy or Switzerland, but at times we also spent the night in the 10th century and dwelt with the patriarchs or the fairies. During the times I remained alone, I often found again places and people of my own past. I wandered with my former betrothed along the edges of the forest of the Upper Rhine, caroused with friends of my youth in Tübingen, Basel, or in Florence. Or I was a boy and went with my school friends to catch butterflies or to catch an otter, or my company consisted of the beloved characters of my books. When I found my way back to our group in some valley or another, heard the League songs and camped by the leaders' tents, it was immediately clear to me that my excursions into my childhood and my ride with Sancho belonged essentially to this journey. For our goal was not only the East, or rather the East was not only a country and something geographical, but it was the home and youth of the soul. It was everywhere and nowhere. It was a union of all times. Yet I was only aware of this for a moment, and therein lay the reason for my great happiness at that time. Later, when I had lost this happiness again, I clearly understood these connections without deriving the slightest benefit or comfort from them. When something precious and irretrievable is lost, we have the feeling of having awakened from a dream. In my case, this feeling is strangely correct, for my happiness did indeed arise from the same secret as the happiness in dreams. It arose from the freedom to experience everything imaginable simultaneously, to exchange outward and inward easily, to move time and space about like scenes in a theatre. And as we League brothers travelled throughout the world without motor cars or ships, as we conquered the war-shattered world by our faith and transformed it into paradise, we creatively brought the past, the future, and the fictitious into the present moment. And again, everywhere, We met people who understood us or were in some way thankful that we and our league and our journey to the East existed.